How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Airport CEO and welcome back to Belfast City Airport. Things are going phenomenally well at the moment. We're sitting just above $9 million. And in the last episode, we decided that we were going to start constructing a bit of an extension to the airport, which I'm pleased to say is mostly done. Now, most of the detailing is yet to be done, but the extension itself is mostly done. And this time, I actually sat around and waited for it to be built, which is why we're sitting on $9.1 million. I've made about $4 million in the time that it took to build all of this. Now, I'm kind of excited to see how this all goes, because as it turns out, I did mention, I'm pretty sure, that we're going to need to expand our baggage handling, and we do. I've managed to max out both of these baggage bays, but thankfully, I was able to add these two, wait, no, not those two, these two stands to one of them, and then these two stands are also connected to the other. So we only need to handle two stands at whatever the new baggage bay is going to be. And we're going to have plenty of space for it. We could build it over here, which is probably what I'm going to do. But before we do any of that, I want to get 4 of these 6 new stands up and running. I want to get them working. We have 2 of them that are going to be sharing this concourse, which was already quite busy, and you might remember did at one point have an airline lounge up here. Had to get rid of that to make a little bit of space, but that's okay. And then this one over here is going to be using these JETWAYS, and I'm actually kind of excited about that. I'm also thinking that I might assign this to an airline. I don't think it would be a terrible idea to start doing that from the get-go, just to see how things go. We could play around with some lounges and see if that's maybe something the airlines would appreciate. So if we take a bit of a look, we do have an emergency, which has apparently landed somewhere. I want to see who we've got that we could work with. We have Crown Airlines. They do offer some large flights, and we do have quite a lot of their large flights scheduled, actually. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and say that Crown Airlines are going to be using this stand up here. And then let's see who else we have that could work another one of the stands. So we have Crown, we have Fly Penguin. They don't seem to offer us anything too chunky. Let's have a look at the large stands. We have Stripe, we have Zoom, we have, that's about it really. We have Nordic. Did I ever get around to playing around with Nordic? We have some large Nordic flights. I don't know that we're going to have enough of them. Although looking at it, we have one here, and another one available. I guess we'll give it a shot and see if Nordic maybe offer us more flights. So we'll do Crown on one, we'll do Nordic on the other, and that should be fine. It's not going to be Nordic Vintage though. It's just going to be regular old Nordic right there. And I'm pretty sure I can go ahead and recolor this stand to sort of match Nordic's color, right? Yeah, I totally can, which is pretty cool. And so we'll do exactly the same thing for the Crown stand as well. A sort of nice purple right there. Go ahead and paint that up. And that way we can tell, you know, who's who and which stand is for which airline. What's also cool about these is I can go ahead and open them. They will function. They have absolutely everything that they need. So we can go ahead and open this. We can go ahead and open this as well. And those will go ahead and function. And it's the same with these guys. The only issue I'm realizing is that I'm going to need some vehicles. So we'll go ahead and open these. And then we're going to need to get ourselves, let's see, where exactly am I looking? I'm wanting to get myself another garage, and I don't for the life of me remember where it is. Vehicle depot right here. So this guy is, I'm thinking I'm just going to put it here for now. I don't think that's the worst place in the world for it. So we'll do a vehicle depot here. And then we need to get ourselves some things for these stands. So for 2 of them, we're going to need some stair trucks. So let's go and get started with that. So vehicles, we want to purchase vehicles, and we want to turn all of them off and filter by aircraft. So we are going to be looking for, well, we're going to be looking for pushback trucks. So we'll get 4 of those, which seems like a great idea. We can get ourselves, I suppose, 4 large belt loader trucks is not going to be a bad idea. We can probably get ourselves maybe 4 of these guys as well, although we're waiting for an order, so it's not going to be happening right now. We can get ourselves 2 stair trucks, because that's all we're going to be needing there. And I don't think we need anything else for emergencies. And when it comes to fueling, I suppose what we can do is get ourselves a couple of these guys as well. So we'll go ahead and get 4 of those. So those can all get delivered in here. And then hopefully we have the vehicles hit the stands before any aircraft arrive. Although I have my doubts because the auto scheduler is already... Wait, no, is it scheduling things? It is not. Okay, that's fine. We did have something scheduled on this stand down here, by the way. I had to cancel it because it started to, it just opened automatically, which was a bit of a disaster. So we should be all right. And there we go. We've got all of the new products arriving. Now, what was the one that I wanted that I couldn't purchase there for a second? So we got the stair trucks, I think. It was stair trucks. No, maybe it wasn't stair trucks. It was the belt loaders and the baggage trucks. Let me get 4 of those as well. And I suppose we'll just go around and assign them. So this is stand 2. This is stand 1. This is stand 27. I'm going to need to rename these. So we go up to stand 8. This is going to be a little bit confusing, but we're going to do large stand number 9. And, oh, this is going to be really confusing, actually. This will be 10, I guess. And then this one is stand 14. So the numbers are a bit weird, but we'll make it work. Now, I want to have a look at my own vehicles here because we need to find some of these guys that aren't assigned. So we need stands 9, 10, 11, and 12 to have belt loader trucks. So this one is going to go to stand 9. Which is totally fine. This one is going to go to stand 10. We have you going to stand 11 and you going to stand 12. So that's the belt loaders sorted out. When it comes to the baggage trucks, it's going to be a similar story. So we're looking for these ones with the roof on them. We have this one here that's not assigned. So that's to stand number 9. We have this one going to number 10. And then hopefully the last 2 are going to be here. Yep, we have number 11 right there. And number 12 right there. And now I need to do the same thing with my fuel trucks, because of course I do. Although interestingly, it seems that none of my fuel trucks are actually assigned to anything. So I might just not bother. I think we'll just let them sort of chill and do their own thing, which is perfectly fine by me. So the belt loaders and the baggage cars are assigned. We probably don't need to assign cabin cleaning trucks. I don't think that's a thing. These large pushback trucks do need to be assigned though. And there we go. We've got some vehicles coming out here ready to go to all of their stands. We have some of them that are a little bit invisible right now for whatever reason, but this is good. This is progress. People can get off of these planes. These stands are up and running. I'm wondering if I should maybe space things out a little bit more because the airport's going to get very busy. The security checkpoints here, for example, very, very busy and only going to get worse. But I'm kind of excited about that. I'm going to be honest. I'm excited to see if I can turn this airport into a bit of a disaster. I probably shouldn't be excited to do that, but I am because I don't know. I just like a little bit of chaos, I suppose. Although in saying that, we only have 1 flight coming in here. It might have been a better idea to go ahead and not necessarily have specific stands for specific airlines, especially since Crown right now has nothing for me because they have a couple of large flights up this way. So we're probably going to be waiting a while for this to all come together, but we should, at least I think we should have a Nordic flight coming in here. We're due to have one hit that stand any second now. I think that's going to be our flight right there. So are you going to go the entire way up or are you going to go across this way? You do. Okay. So it uses the lower taxiway, which is pretty cool. It doesn't interrupt the planes up at the top there. It's stopping, I assume, to let this guy come down. Absolutely. Then goes about his business. Probably could have just went straight across, but that's fine. Do we have... Oh. So we have all of you coming up here. You guys are using, I think, the stairs that I want you using. No, you're not. You're using those ones, which is a little bit annoying. That's really not what I'm looking for. I was kind of hoping you guys wouldn't do this. That's really not what I'm looking for. We might have to get rid of the stairs on each of the things. At least these guys are arriving and taking the stairs straight down, which is what I am looking for. I don't love that they're using these stairs to get up here though. That's a little frustrating. I'm probably going to have to get rid of them. But I think for now what I'll do is go ahead and figure out where people are going to sit. That's kind of going to have to be the thing. So let's have a look at our seating options. Let's go and get the large ones. Turn off that horrible overlay. And let's see here. So let's do this. And I suppose this. And we can kind of just dot these guys. Well, do I want to do that? Let's do that instead. We'll leave a gap of 1 there. We'll leave a gap of 2 between them, actually. Let's give them a little bit more room to, you know, stretch the legs out a little bit. So we'll just do, we'll do that. It's gonna be a little bit off center compared to this thing, but that should be totally fine, I think. I'm also wondering if I want to maybe paint those a different color. I don't think I can right click this to get the color of the plane though. So let's try and recapture that Nordic color. It's sort of that color, I think. A little bit more green. That's pretty good. I would say that's pretty good. Maybe a little bit more saturated. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty solid for Nordic green right there. And we'll paint these chairs green as well, which is it's a color. It's definitely a color choice for all of this, but that's all right. Man, I really dislike that they're using these stairs. That is such a pain, and I think the only way I can really do something about that is to maybe take them further underground and then bring them out into a secure space once they've exited the international zone. It's not worth all the hassle. I think we will just go ahead and get rid of the stairs in all of these spots and just have people sort of exit the way they always have. So we'll take out basically all of that. We'll go ahead and take out the window there, take this right back. It's a little annoying. I was kind of looking forward to seeing if we could filter people around a little bit better, but apparently that's not an option. So they're going to come out of here and they're just going to go through the terminals, through the elevators, down the stairs, whatever they want to do. And that should be fine. I've also just realized that a bunch of these little boarding desks are not even connected right now. I'm not really sure why some of them automatically connected and the others didn't, but we'll go ahead and get those out there, which should make it easier for all of these people to, yeah, do that, filter out and get on the plane. These guys are all connected. They connected automatically. These guys are all connected. Oh, wait, no. Is that one? Oh, they are. So these guys all connected automatically as well. No idea why the Nordic one didn't. But regardless, people can get on the plane now, and that's really all that matters. The other good news, I suppose, is that this plane is now delayed in leaving, but thankfully, it turns out that there's no other plane coming to the stand, so it can kind of just sit there. I'm also slightly concerned that baggage took this long to get out here. We might want to, we might want to improve things a little bit. That might be a problem. If planes are going to be this delayed when we do have other planes coming in, that's going to be a problem. So here's the tricky question. What the hell do I do with this space down here if we're not going to be having any passengers down this way? We have an entire section of the terminal that's essentially useless. And I mean, in a sense, I could reasonably convert this into a space that people can go through and then sort of around the edge of the airport and then leave the secure zone. That is a thing we could do. I just don't know that I want to. I've also realized there's a lot of passengers in here now. There's a lot of people in here. We might need to upgrade our seating situation is what I'm thinking we need to do here. So can I, by chance, I mean, I can do this. We'll do some seating right there. I don't love the idea of putting them right next to each other like that, but it would force people around in a way that might be interesting. So we'll do that, I guess. And then we'll go to this spot and probably do exactly the same thing. So seats right there and seats right there. And I mean, it's going to give people places to sit, which is what we're looking for. So we'll go for it. We'll also do some nice, you know, plants in between all of the chairs. They don't get as much leg room in this particular part of the airport, but that's probably fair enough. We could also do some plants in between a lot of this, just to stop people from sort of going right through the middle of the seating space, which is something I would rather they didn't do. So we'll give that a bit of a shot. I think what we'll do is actually just do some plants kind of in those spots rather than every single one. So something like that I think looks kind of neat. In fact, what if we just did them sort of at the edges? So they can't necessarily walk straight through, but you know, people within the seating space can kind of walk around. That might be a good idea. Do the same down here. So plants only at the edges. And then the same right there. And the same right there. And did I do it? Yeah, I did it in the middle here as well. Okay, so right there and there. Let's see how that goes. Let's see what that does. I'm hoping at the very least that is going to be enough seating for everybody. If it isn't, that's going to be a bit of a pickle, but that's kind of a them problem. It's, you know, it's more of an ish you than an ish me, basically. Oh, I should probably also mention that I built another little restaurant down here between this episode and the last one, because I figured this space kind of needed something. So we have the restaurant, we have the mega bathroom. They're both, well, the bathroom's a little bit filthy and has some crates in it for some reason, but this place is doing pretty well. It makes a decent number of sales, not necessarily as many as it always needs, but it's colorful, it's different, it's neat looking. I like having a little restaurant down there. I'm kind of hoping I can fill as much of this space as possible with just stuff, really. That's kind of where I'm at with this airport, is just trying to fill it with stuff. Because I'm also wondering if I can maybe bulldoze some sections of terminal here. Like, can I bulldoze these guys? And I mean, this might be a bad idea, bulldozing some giant sections of the terminal. But I want to try, because it's going to make this a little bit more narrow, which I think makes a little bit of sense. And then on this side, can I do, well, I can't do the same thing on this side because we have all of this, but I'm just going to make this a little bit more narrow over here, because I just don't think we need this giant section of path. We don't need it here either, but we have, you know, structure in here already. Well, actually, in saying that, I could do this, which I think I am going to do. I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to take out all the excess parts of terminal that we just don't need right now. And then we can put some walls around all of that, and it'll be fine. So we'll go in here. We'll get ourselves some walls. We want to do this. I want to turn off the zoning overlay so I can actually see what I'm doing. And we'll just do that right there. It does make it a bit more narrow, but that's kind of the point. And then all the way down here, it is exactly the same story. We chop that bit out and we bring a wall straight across here. This might take a little while to actually happen, and it is going to just sort of breach the secure area of the airport, which isn't ideal. I'll be honest. This is maybe not the best thing to do while the airport's up and working, but I'm doing it because I might as well. Now, in other news, it seems as though all of the seating has gone in, and I did make a slight change to it, so it's a little bit more symmetrical with the walls and whatnot here. Same number of seats, just a little bit of a different layout, and honestly, I kind of like how this has turned out. Now, I'm also thinking I could do something a little bit interesting here. I could potentially get us some lounges into this space. And the way I'm thinking of doing it is a little something like this, where we're going to basically have a room right in the middle of the terminal. So you have to go around it, which is fine. I'm kind of okay with that. And this would basically be a lounge. This is where we can have an airline lounge. Now, if we have a look at our lounges, we want to say that this, I'm going to have to redo the zoning there. I really dislike that deleting walls also gets rid of zoning, even if it's, you know, deleting a wall that was never built. It's really frustrating, but whatever. It's not the end of the world. Let's see what I can do with this though, because I want something that's going to be, I don't think this is going to need to be popular, or I don't think it's going to be popular. So I don't think we need to build it so that it can deal with being popular is what I'm trying to get at. So I think we will go with the medium table, and I think it can live right about there. We can do a nice little wall at the back of it. I think we can leave sort of those side spaces open, and that's going to be our lounge. I'm kind of okay with that. Although I'm realizing that the entrance should be down here because this is going to be the Nordic lounge. So I've done this slightly backwards is what I've done. Definitely done this slightly backwards. I also kind of want to double up these walls and just chop out 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll do 5 because we can. I want to get some chairs in there is what I want to do. So we'll go and grab, I guess, a nice modern couch, put it there, put one there. And again, have to redo the zoning every single time. Really frustrating, but it just is what it is. That's totally fine. We can redo the international part as well. And so that'll give people places to sit, which is fantastic. We can also do some small plants in here. I don't know why the plants need the zoning to be enabled either, but there we go. So that'll be the Nordic lounge. Obviously, it's going to need things like the buffet tables, which again, for some reason require, oh, wait a minute. I shouldn't have built those walls first. Damn it. You know, I think this will do as a layout. I guess making a mistake with this thing was good because I was able to bring the door down to the bottom, which is probably where it should be. And it's also good because it is funneling people around in the way that I would want them to go. So at some point, we're going to copy this design. We are going to put it up here, and that's going to serve as the crown lounge, which will be I want to say that'll be good. I want to say that'll be a good thing to have once we have some of those flights coming through here. We just don't have them at the minute. What we also have is an airport that is exceptionally busy. This particular concourse is ridiculous. It's also ridiculously filthy, which is a bit of a problem. We might need to get more janitors. We might need to get more trash cans as well. And honestly, we probably want to do that up here as well. Just go ahead and go nuts with trash cans and things to stop it from being, well, filthy. Oh man, the entire airport is completely filthy. Good Lord, we need more janitors. Let's go to staff. Let's go to applicants. Let's filter by janitors, and let's get you. We'll get you, and you as well. So we'll bring in a bunch of new janitors. We do have a bunch of trash cans around here. It's not that we don't. I think we just have too many people. Man, I've never gone through an airport and thought to myself, oh, you know what? The trash cans on the other side of the chairs, I'm just going to throw my crap on the floor. I know it's a video game thing, but just in general, have you ever played games like this, just management games in general, where you do have like a trash factor to it? Like Theme Hospital or 2 Point Hospital or something like that, or any of the theme park games. It's wild to me. I would never, maybe it's just a testament to how my grandparents raised me, but I've never thought to myself, oh, I don't see a trash can right now. I'm just going to throw my stuff away. I'm just going to drop it on the ground. You carry it with you. You bring it with you, right? Or you go find a trash can if it's not something that you want to carry for that long. Like when I was flying back to the UK from my recent trip to the States, I had like a bag of chips or crisps in the UK, and I was like sitting eating those it wasn't Newark because I had to sprint from one plane to the other before missing it. I think it was Orlando. It would have been the airport I was in. I was eating these things, and I got in my flight with them, and I'm sitting in the plane still eating them, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I've got this bag that I don't need. Cool. I didn't drop it on the floor. Yeah, they come around to collect garbage on planes anyway, but I think I fell asleep when they were doing that. So I woke up and I still had the empty bag of chips. And because I had to sprint to my next plane, I didn't have the chance to throw it in the trash. So I carried it with me. So I went from Orlando to Newark to Dublin with some trash because I didn't think to drop it on the floor because I'm not a friggin' animal. All right. I'm very concerned about this. I don't understand. I don't get people. I don't understand people that just throw their trash everywhere like this. Because this is a real thing. People do this. Like, have you ever seen pictures of like a street from the day after like a parade or something like that? Or like a festival? It is wild. It is insane. I've never understood it. It is absolutely insane. The amount of stuff that people just throw on the ground because it's like a slight inconvenience. Just bring it with you. It's not hurting anybody. Like I also slept through the garbage collection on that second flight. So that's why I had to carry it from Orlando to Dublin because, you know, I fell asleep on the way to Dublin. So I didn't put this thing in the trash until I had gone through security in Dublin airport. I was back on Irish soil before I threw my bag of chips away that I got in Orlando. I just don't get it. I just don't understand it. Anyway, I think we've made a little bit of progress here today. We do absolutely need to get another baggage handling space for these two stands. And in all honesty, I think we might need to consider the idea that we don't have exclusive Nordic stands. Although in saying that, we actually have 3 other Nordic flights scheduled up here. We still have those scheduled into tomorrow. Looking at it though, we have these 2 Crown flights. We don't have those tomorrow. So we might start seeing Crown offer us some large flights here. We might need to make them a little bit happier with us though, because right now airline satisfaction is terrible. And the higher the satisfaction, the more likely the airline will offer you new flights. Satisfaction is affected by your ability to handle flights on time. A low satisfaction can have the airline cancel the master contract. Now that's interesting because if we look into one of these categories, I don't remember which one, this is general aviation satisfaction. This is airline satisfaction. On average, it's 87%, which is pretty good. What they don't like is airline infrastructure quality. So that'll be things like the quality of the runways. They don't like how the consumables are priced. They don't like the fees. I mean, we could probably bring our fees down a little bit by now. We'll also go ahead and just fix up the runways. So we will repair you. We can go down, we can repair you as well. And then I suppose we can go around and repair some of the stands too, because the stands are actually getting to be in a bit of a state of disrepair. So we'll get those all nicely fixed up. I am thinking we can lower our fees though, because we have enough aircraft coming and going that I think we can get away with this. So let's make sure everything is nicely fixed up. It's as high a quality as it can be. And then what we'll do is go into the economy tab. We'll go into fees. And I don't love the idea of bringing all of these down, but we'll bring everything down until it's green is what we'll do. So we're losing a couple of dollars here and there. Vending machines are going to stay where they are. Short-term parking's fine. General aviation's fine. Bringing you down until your green is going to be there. We're losing $500 per large aircraft. I don't love that, but I think that's just going to have to be the way of it. I think this is what we'll do. We'll just bring all of these down until they're green, and we'll see how that goes. I'm pretty sure we are potentially going to lose money doing this. It is a lot of money that we're leaving on the table now. But the hope, I guess, is that we can get some better contracts. The hope is that airlines like Crown are going to want to... Crown actually have... That's a couple of Concords right there. Oh, no, it's the Russian one. It's the TU-144. I'm hoping they'll start sending things in here. I'm hoping we're going to start seeing them give us more flights and that we will, in fact, have all of these stands full. But what I was getting at was, I think if that doesn't work, we're just going to revert these back to be, generic stands, and then anybody can come in here. But for now, we'll test the experiment. We'll also see how things go with the lower fees. And if we start losing money, I'm just going to crank the fees again. Airlines be damned. Oh, now this is an interesting little detail. I didn't know we could actually allow medium aircraft to use large stands. I'm going to do that for those two setups there, because we do have some Crown flights that could go on there. And Nordic has some flights as well. So we can allow some medium aircraft onto the large stands. We'll see if those actually do get filled out. I'm hoping they do, because it means that this will just get a little bit more use. It means that a few more people will come in here. We might have a few more flights coming and going. That just seems like an absolute win. Oh no, Wednesday is not going to be a bad day at all. We've got some medium Crown flights landing. We've got plenty of these larger Nordic flights coming down here as well. So things are progressing, which is what we want them to do. I'm also wondering if I was to go in here and I was to say that I wanted to do some hedges in this space here. I'm curious to see if that will force people to not cut through here. So we're going to do that up here as well, because we have people sort of cutting through this space and it's really bothering me. So some hedges right about there and there, and we'll see how that goes. We'll see if that actually does end up filtering people, out of here, in through here. And if it does, then great. If it doesn't, then, whatever. At the end of the day, it is what it is. But I just don't want people cutting through here. That's a really big pet peeve of mine. I really dislike when they cut through those spaces. It just looks a little bit silly. But what we're going to do is we're going to figure that out in the next episode, because I think we're going to leave it there for today. I'm kind of pleased with where we've gotten to. We've managed to get the JETWAYS going. We still have to expand these guys. That's what we'll do in the next episode. We'll expand baggage handling to deal with this. And we might need to consider the idea that another runway might be needed. I don't know where I'd put it. We don't really have the room, but we might be able to get like a small runway somewhere over here for general aviation, because I'm noticing these runways are super busy. Basically, all of my small aircraft could use the small runway, freeing up this for some of the medium and large flights. Speaking of medium flights, that's a Crown one coming in right there, which is pretty cool. I don't think I've ever actually seen a medium flight use a large stand, so I'm curious to see what that actually looks like. I also didn't realize that medium flights doing international stuff, it's fine. That does make sense. I've just never really seen it in Airport CEO before. But that's cool. I like that. I do. It also looks like this is working. It looks like people coming down here are being forced to go around. So my little tactic with the hedges actually seems to be working, which is good. That's what we want. So all is good. I guess we're not going to be finding that out in the next episode. It does, in fact, work, which is absolutely wonderful news. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. That is going to do us for today. It has been an absolute pleasure as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.